this is a really awesome day for us. We've got David Ariew on the show with us.
What's up?
What is up, dude? We got Maximilian in the house with us, and we are going to do two very specific things today, which I will probably repeat myself a couple times as we get into this. But we are going to take a look at the winners of the Kitbash 3D contest, the Victorian contest, which has been going on for the last couple months. Some insane work has popped out of that. And then David has got a very special surprise that he's gonna talk a little bit more about, and we're gonna walk through that on the second part of the show.
Sweet.
So we're gonna give everyone a little bit of time to jump in the game here because I just started streaming. So David, how you doing, man?
I'm good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sleep deprived right now, so low expectations today as far as like getting through anything quickly.
Hey, no expectations from me, man. Max, what are your expectations like?
Okay.
No, David, I'm curious. David, what's keeping you up at night?
A couple. Well, I mean, I've got this. I just started this kind of 5 or 6 weeks long music video. It's full CG, and it's going to have like this person that's an ice sculpture melting over the course of it, and then it's like all in these. It's to do with global warming and like glacial caverns and stuff. So it's a lot of stuff that I am not that well versed in yet. Like it might be some Houdini stuff. So it's going to take a lot of research, but I like to get myself in over my head once in a while. I feel like it's like a necessity to get better as an artist. Once in a while, you just have to kick your own ass and agree to something that's probably a terrible idea.
Yeah, I think Banks and I share your sentiment of getting in over our head way too often. But we like finding where our line is, where our limit is. So we're going to push it and push it and push it until we hit that wall.
Exactly. And hopefully you don't ever take on a project where you just totally break and just crumple up in a fetal position and, all that. But
yeah, I've had a couple of those.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Max has it pretty down. He's got a very specific timeline for when that breaking point comes, which I greatly admire, knowing yourself so well.
Boiled it down to a science.
When you hit it enough times, you know exactly when it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have it boiled down, and I hope to never hit that point again. But yeah, there's a clear number of like I know how many days I can work in a row before I'm in the fetal position.
Exactly.
Let's see who we got on the chat here. We got Chris Boyan. We got Brokey, Hilliard, and Maple 3D.
Let me see if I can find the chat here.
Yeah, we got the squad. Yeah, I'm waiting on my chat to load up.
How's everyone in the chat doing? How's your days? How's your expectations?
How's your expectations as we finish April? Does this mean that spring has begun?
I feel like we are entering a new chapter. We have so many things planned that are kicking off now that we've been working on for a while. So
yeah, it's awesome. You guys are so good at like advertising and planning all these different ways to promote your awesome products. I mean, yeah. And my Facebook feed is just the only ads that pop up now are Kitbash 3D.
Awesome.
Oh man, Droki's got high expectations, David. Super high.
Oh, good. Well, I hope to not live up to those.
He says, JK, happy to have you on, bud.
Thanks. Droki, dude, your compositions have been amazing lately. You've just been killing it. I look at those images, I'm like, man, I need to learn how to draw so that I love that process where you start with some quick compositions with drawing and jam out a bunch of ideas that way, and then follow that in 3D. Whereas I jump in and I just throw things around until something looks kind of good, and then I give up.
Yeah, Joe, offline, David was singing your praises too the other day, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, friggin' Droki entered into this KB3D contest with like epic looking images, and I put a bunch of them in my picks, my vote folder, not realizing they were his. And then when I was going through them, I saw the name attached to it. I was like, God damn it. I can't vote for him.
Yeah.
It's an insider game.
Weren't you supposed to vote blind, though?
You know, I did vote blind initially, and then when I looked at the names, I was like, oh, God, I gotta vote for him. Get out of here, Mitch Myers. What are you doing?
Yeah, I love that Mitch tagged his KB3D contest. So,
yeah.
It's like, no, you're not allowed to enter this thing.
Too high profile. And Chris Boyan says, I'm sleep deprived because of uni. I understand completely, David, which
cool.
I think just means existentially he understands.
Existentially, yeah. So I'm only seeing, I saw Droki's comment, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing that. Maybe it's like lagged or something.
Yeah, you might get all the new ones, but it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you think it just popped up? Cool.
Should we jump into these KB3D contest results?
I like that.
Totally.
I like that. Just to throw it in there, Droki says, "Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. The feeling is mutual, and my normal method is just throwing shit around."
Awesome.
And then he says, "Also, thank you, Max."
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's. I'm gonna throw up here the whole shebang, all the contest images from this contest. If I can figure out how to make it full size.
Let's see if you don't. There you go.
Quick. Look at that.
Smooth.
Tech ability,
Master.
gents.
Master.
Oh, no, you're not at the top, though.
I'm not at the top?
Nope.
What do you mean?
Are you is that the first entry?
Yeah, that's the first entry that I can see. Yeah, that's number 1 on my list. This is all the entries.
Oh, you're showing all the entries.
Yeah, I wanted us to take a little bit of time and look at everyone because there was just so much amazing work.
It's cool to give each of these guys appreciation because just all the effort that was put in.
Gotcha. Okay, let's do it.
So I just want to look at everything from this thing because this contest, we are so perpetually blown away by the entries that come into the KB3D contest. Because when we first started, we thought, who's going to be able to make anything with just a sample kit? And so we put it out there during the KB3D festival, right at our launch in September, and then we were just absolutely floored by the amount of work that started coming in. And that's how the KB3D contest came to be.
Hey, Banks, can you share your screen with us as well?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Just so that we're not on the lag. And I can do my best to shout out the names as they come up.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. To do that, I got to bring you over here and get back in the game.
The funny thing about seeing these for me is I totally suck at Photoshop, and this makes me very jealous of people that are good at Photoshop because the majority of my work, I just try to solve everything in 3D, which makes it possible for animation, but for stills, like this stuff is just incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who one of the things I like about Kit Bash is maybe you're not super comfortable in 3D, but this kind of gives you a jumping off point. And maybe you're a strong painter who hasn't been able to use, these tools before. And hopefully that kind of bridges the gap and brings in some of the more traditional painters into this new workflow.
Absolutely. Or vice versa, just allows, 3D artists to step up their game and not spend a ton of time modeling. I mean, personally, kit bashing has been my mindset since day one, mostly out of laziness. But just because I enjoy the camera animation, the lighting, the texturing, and the rendering, I think, more than modeling. But I think modeling is definitely the next step for me. But yeah, even if I get good at modeling, I feel like it takes a very, very long time. So it's nice to have the option to start with assets like these.
Yeah, definitely. This, by the way, on the screen right now is Chris Boyan's.
Bingo.
And what I will say is, like, you know, it's always good to have an idea of how to do all of this stuff, but at the same time, like, you know, we have some modelers working with Kit Bash that, you know, they're some of the most world-class modelers I've ever worked with in my entire career. And, like, no matter how good you get at modeling, you know, to be able to rely on assets from, like, some of the best modelers in the world, it's a different story, I think. You know, it's always good to be able to go in there and be able to make whatever custom piece you want. But I think we're going to keep stepping it up as well. Victorian Kit was modeled by Mihailo, who's done a lot of our kits, and just looking at what he's doing right now, like a new kit, I can't say what it is, but he just stepped it up for himself so much. Like, he's raised the bar, and he's
amazing.
Keep doing that each time.
That's so awesome, and we get to reap the benefits.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always good to, like, have an idea. This, by the way, is Dank Life is the tag. Dank Life.
What's up?
Is the
Gavoker Art's in the chat. I love that dude. His Instagram feed is amazing.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
You guys should check him out if you haven't already.
Oh, so
yeah.
a little bit on Gavoker is Gabriel Punsalong is his name. He was in the Kitmas Bash he made a piece in the Art Deco KB3D contest last year, and actually placed second in the Kitmas Bash
awesome.
tournament at Christmas time.
Yeah, we love seeing Gabriel's work. Like, he just keeps talking about stepping it up every day. You know, just watching his progress over the last 6 months is absolutely insane. You got Droki's piece right here.
Yeah,
I love that.
If someone would throw Gabriel's Instagram handle into the chat, that would be really awesome. Yeah, here's one of the pieces Droki made. And speaking of this, could we also throw the link to Droki's Twitch into the chat if someone could hook that up?
Yeah, Droki actually did this. I believe he did this live on a Twitch stream.
Yeah,
doing more and more of it. You guys should definitely check that out.
I mean, Droki just has such an awesome style, and it's so cool to watch it all come together. Droki, if y'all don't know Droki, he made the first Kit Bash 3D image from the day we launched. He was the first one to pick up the Gothic kit and put out an image with it. And just watching his work and use with the kits over the last year has been so awesome to see how his style has evolved and how specific he has his pieces evoke a feeling, you know, and I'd love to see them all in a gallery somewhere.
Absolutely.
Gabriel says, thanks guys, but damn, so many amazing and inspiring entries for this year. We could not agree more. Here's another one.
A Droki piece.
Yeah, I mean, this contest was overwhelming. The voting was so tight. Yeah, this was cool. Droki did a series of these where he was pushing this same image and tweaking it along the way. I think watching the progress as you could watch on Instagram or Twitch was really fun.
Yeah, I love the different looks and lighting conditions.
Yeah, super rad. Super rad. Yeah, and that was where he finished, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Though, interestingly, I think I like the first one best.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That one?
This one, yeah. The lighting is just beautiful there. But I can see the added detail and the lights in the buildings are really cool too for the night shots. And I like how he took it to a more painterly look by the end of it. Super cool.
Yeah, it's so rad. This is the KB3D contest is one of my favorite things that we do because of this. Just getting to look at all the artwork, and you know, every day as pieces come in, we're just freaking out about them and showing them around the office and getting so excited about them.
This one's amazing. So this is still with just those sample pieces that you guys released?
So this is Eagle Eye, by the way, is the artist.
Yeah.
And so the contest is you could use the sample kit or you could use the full kit.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, if you had Victorian or you picked it up, you could use that.
Cool.
Some really cool abstract ones in here too.
This is Inter CG.
Nice.
Super cool. The Felipe Cordero is this one. Super cool. I love the mood, love the colors.
Yeah. This one is Hebron Gusti. Hebron threw in this late entry into the contest here, and Hebron, of course, made it all the way to the championship of the Kitmas Bash last year, and was in fact winner. You can.
I love the variation in scale here and how it's just super magical.
Yeah.
This is Jake FG.
Jake FG, really, really rad work. And Jake, if you're in the chat, say what up. Jake hit us up on Instagram. We posted this into our story, and we had a nice little chat. Yeah.
Let's get through a couple more of these because I know we have so many. I feel like we might need to speed this up, not to take away anything from these guys, but I feel like people might be itching to know the winners.
I think it's Franos. Is that Jake in the house? What up? Yeah, I'll cycle through these a little bit faster, Max.
This is George Chappell right over here.
I love that
Vega.
one.
Yeah, super cool composition.
Jose Vega.
That one's fun. That one makes me laugh.
Yeah, I like that too.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, especially where Kit Bash is kind of like adult Legos.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is.
This one is Aaron Donda.
Dondatron. I love it.
Yeah, Dondatron. If you're in the room with us, say what up. I like the social commentary in there.
I'm going for it. It's awesome. This is Lassie Build Trip.
Oh, that last one was Lasso Built Trip out of Denmark. What up, Lasso? If you're in the room, say what up.
This is Last Guard. This is also from Last Guard. Last Guard actually did like 4 of these. This one too.
Yeah, really put a whole series out there. This one's Lav.
Lawrence Aaron.
This abstract series was really cool.
Yeah.
I love this.
As soon as this one came out, got tossed around the office. Everyone was excited about it. It's cool to just see people taking it to different places.
Absolutely, yeah.
This one came out right after Mitch Meyer's stream with us.
Nice.
I love that. I love seeing people actually like taking tips that they see on a stream and using them.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Droki says, such an amazing set of approaches within these shots. Some are mood-based, some concept-based, super graphic. Love all the Victorian.
This is Marcus Hocknick. Probably said that wrong, but
he did both.
Yeah,
of
those
these,
are both
didn't he?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. Love those. This is Martina Glaron.
I love the extra life in that one with the plane and the birds is a really nice touch.
Mm-hmm. This one, new Blade Runner vibes.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
This is fun.
I love that. So cool.
Nice.
Miguel Fortin.
This reminds me of the one that Stravamir made in the Beeple round of the Kitmas Bash last year, the Doctor Strange kind of world.
Yeah.
Mitch Stewart.
That one's incredible.
Super rad.
It's insane. I love that Mitch always takes it to that next level of like trying to get really creative with how to use these pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This right here is Nervous Sloth. Great name.
Raja's in the house. What up, Raja? You're right, Max. There are so many here.
Yeah, it's just insane. We could keep scrolling.
Almost there, though. I think you're getting towards the end.
But such great work, and I love the willingness from everyone to jump in and make this thing awesome, and to talk to each other about it, and to build each other up. And the vibe on the Discord channel has been amazing.
I need to get on the Discord channel.
Yeah, join it up. JD Hilliard, if you wouldn't mind tossing in a Discord channel link. JD is our community manager of the Discord, and he has done such an incredible job keeping that rocking.
It's really become an amazing place for artists to support each other and push each other, and seeing it with the KB3D contest in the mix of people sharing their work in progresses and getting feedback. It's really cool what that is and what that's become. And it's really like, that is fully you guys in the community, and it really speaks to how awesome this community is, that it's become such an inspirational place.
Bam. Well, that takes us to...
Did it.
We did it. We did it, yo. Super, super awesome work, everybody. Thank you all so much for contributing and making that such an epic adventure.
It's funny, everyone who voted for the entries, I feel like not any of us had the same list. Like, it really, there were so many different amazing entries. It was not an easy thing to boil it down, but, I think we all came together at the end with the 10 that we wanted to acknowledge. But it's really not an easy thing to do. It's so subjective, and I don't know. I guess I'm kind of curious, David and Banks, what your guys' criteria when you were choosing was. But for me, I was looking at what images evoked the emotion of awe for me.
Yeah.
And like brought me into a world and made me want to go and explore that world.
Absolutely.
That was kind of what I was looking for. And I don't know if you guys had anything else that you were like, this is what I'm judging based on.
I think like some of the, if I saw, I think quality of rendering a lot of the time as well. Like if I saw some kind of low res textures, I would maybe not consider that one at the top 10 or 15. And then if they took extra time to bring in some more life or a bit of a story into the scene, some more whimsical elements versus just, I have trouble with this personally. Like it's hard to just get to the point where you've made something pretty, like, I'm making a city that looks convincing and a full digital environment that looks convincing, and then adding a story or life on top of that, birds or some kind of motion to direct your eye through the scene, I think takes it to the next level. But that's also a personal goal of mine. But there's a huge difference between pieces that do that and pieces that don't.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with both of those sentiments. I think, I go right for what gives me the feeling, what makes me want to dive into it. And then, what is telling me a story and leading me to want to get more and more invested. I also think I was looking for creativity. I think there was some easy choices and obvious things you could do with the pieces, and I was looking for who stepped out of their realm. I wanted to see people taking risks and trying stuff, and then also attention to detail. Like you were saying, David, like if you spent a lot of time making it very specific, that all of those things I think lead to the feeling you get from looking at it. But those are some easier ways to break it down.
Totally.
Shall we jump into this thing?
Let's do it.
Should we do it real? All right, I'm going to do a quick changeover and try not to spoil any surprises. If you don't like spoiler alerts, close your eyes for 1, 2 right now. Okay, we nailed it. Here's full screen.
Can you present or share your screen with us also?
Yes. So this first one, bingo.
I just saw it on the Twitch, with the delay. But Very quick, thanks.
Yeah,
very quick.
I'm doing my very best. I'm a sucker for being surprised. So pretty much everything in my life I like to be a surprise. Sweet. Okay, so this first one is Doomsday and Maximilian. Since my screen is clogged, could you be reading it? Thanks, sir.
This is Peter Lee created this.
Peter Lee. David, talk to me a little bit about this one.
I love the lighting and the depth haze we've got going on with all those volumetrics. I think some of that is volumetrics in 3D, and a lot of it looks like some smoke added in post. And also, I love the silhouette-y foreground and how abstracted this has been taken. Like, it's not just a city. We've got some crazy forms that look very futuristic. Like, you can start with, like the Lego thing that we were talking about, you can start with much older looking buildings, and if you jam them together in these bizarre ways, it looks really futuristic. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I agree. The depth of it, and really, I think this one immediately jumps out to me in the creativity. You know, if you look at
unique,
the shapes, you know, and just made a whole world completely of his own.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I love about this is the composition. So, you know, there's this idea of having a beginning, middle, and end in a painting. We're creating a primary, secondary, and tertiary focal points. And if you have three of them, it creates a triangle that keeps your eyes circling around an image. And by having this moon and this bright, hot spot of the highlights on this building in the top right, and then this dark silhouette in the foreground, you get that really nice triangle that just keeps your eye bouncing within this image and not wanting to look away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super creative. I mean, yeah, to go and make something that's very abstract and just like pulls you in like this. I really love this. I'm happy that we can give this the first honorable mention.
Yeah, Droki says, love the atmosphere and colors of this shot, so beautifully controlled. And he's thrown in the Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Super cool. So, Peter, congratulations on being the first of the honorable mentions. This one here, Marcus, am I right, Max?
Yes, Marcus, I'm going to butcher the last name, but I think it's Hacknick. But yeah, Marcus Hacknick.
This one for me caught me by mood right away.
Mm-hmm. The starkness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's so specific all the way through. You know, from the smokestacks to the very few buildings are lit and the high towers there, and there's the British flag on top with the birds around it as we come in, and the rest of the city is sort of decimated underneath, and the darkness
mm-hmm.
that leads your eyes from the corners all the way up down the road. I thought it was just beautiful.
Yeah, mood-wise, this hit me strong. Like, this tells a story in itself. And I think a lot of the times, especially like with matte painting, when you're creating an environment, it's supposed to be a reflection of the emotions that a character is going through or about to go through. And even though this doesn't have any characters in it, you totally get the emotion and the story that a character would be going through even in this world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely feels like some legit concept art for a film that conveys a very distinctive mood.
Yeah, love it.
Really.
Shouting out to Maple 3D in the chat. What's up, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Considering learning some matte painting techniques, just giving them a shout out.
Maple, you should check it out. It's the bomb.
Check it out.
Here we go. Next round. There we go. Eagle. Take it away, David.
Oh, I don't know. This one's just insane. Like, the mega detail everywhere just makes my eyeballs pop out of my head.
There's, I love that Eagle's been so active in our Facebook page, and always one of the first to comment on anything we do, and it's cool to actually see him putting some art forward also, and then to come out with a piece like this, which is just so cool. He really is taking the time on the technical aspects of like really nailing these shaders and
mm-hmm.
these texture maps are really beautiful. And I think there's something to be said about this kind of like hyper-real style, where there's so much juicy detail that your eye keeps bouncing around and doesn't want to leave just because it wants to pick up all the little hidden Easter eggs and things that are in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Max, how much do you think of this is done in Photoshop, and how much is full 3D with the shaders all done in 3D?
It seems like this is mostly 3D.
Cool.
I could be wrong, but it really looks like there was quite a bit of time spent in the 3D side of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how many people chose this, build a road and look down this alley, down the road towards something. And I think, if you made a piece like this, the competition was particularly intense because so many people chose that route, and you really had to push it like this to create something in that kind of world.
Yeah.
So really, really well done, Eagle. Speaking of, talk to me about this one, Max.
This is Yannick Rogi. Hopefully I got that right. Yeah, definitely that similar composition, but I think that composition helps to pull your eye into the depth of the background.
Totally.
Right? It gives you a road to follow. And this, I just think, was like just really well executed in terms of mood, in terms of the technical aspects of the 3D. The composition is beautiful. The scale is fantastic with that character in there. Well, all around, I just think this is a super successful piece.
Absolutely. I love the grade on this too. The green and slightly red, and yeah, it's got a very cool stylistic vibe.
Yes.
It's amazing looking at the different pieces that took this, road all the way in, and how different each emotion is. You can look at each piece and say, similar composition, but very different feeling.
Yeah, well, so pulling off that green composition and that green like color palette is super difficult, because the color of a sky really is like one of the biggest hits of emotion, and having a warm sky or a cool sky is a drastic change of an image, but a green sky is like a subconscious thing to make you feel like this is unnatural or otherworldly, or something that is outside of the normal world. And yet he pulls it off, and it feels almost toxic.
Right. Absolutely.
It's funny, right as you said that, Max, Droki said the exact same thing. He says that green and yellow color palette's so hard to pull off.
Unbelievable. I beat you to the punch, Droki.
Well, Yannick, congrats for being in the honorable mention. If you're in the chat, say what up. This one got. Yeah, go ahead, Max.
Lorenz Aaron. I just wanted to throw that in there. This is Lorenz Aaron. Go for it, thanks.
I mean, such a cool use of period, and taking these cars into it that really give us a sense of where we are in time, and making this image so specific to a snowy night in this time period is really cool, and something that was unique in a lot of the other images.
Yeah, I love the lighting and the little bits of volumetrics, like the ray cast from the stoplight and from the beams on the headlights and stuff like that. And yeah, I love the snowy, cold city, but then with warm interiors. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous composition too, with that zigzag road. Beautiful.
Yeah, these make me want to just go and study composition for like a couple months or something.
Yeah, I mean, Lorenz is like clearly he's comes from a strong traditional background. This is, every bit of this is very deliberate and really well executed as well.
Muscle Man in the group says, please keep sharing their Instagram accounts if you can. I'd love to follow all these accounts. Super awesome idea, and Droki has thrown in that account link. Thank you so much.
Oh, is that Ryan? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Musselman or Musselman. I think he's from Richmond, and I know that dude. And IRL.
Right on. Back from your,
oh my God,
your Charlottesville days?
He works for, I'm blanking on the name of the company, but yeah.
By the way,
yeah. Cool, that's awesome. Hey, man.
y'all should check out Lorenz's Instagram. There's only 3 images right now. All of them are KB3D contest images, and they are all to this level, like epic and perfectly executed.
Sweet.
Right on. So click on that
company,
link that Droki put.
Is Hue and Cry, which is a really awesome, motion graphics company in Richmond. They do great work. A lot with the Martin Agency, I think.
Score.
Right. I'll post their link in the chat too.
Droki says, according to Lorenz, this image was inspired by Gregory Crudson, who is also very worth checking out for reference. Sweet, and Quentin's going to throw in a reference. You guys are nailing it. All right. So, well done, Lorenz. Awesome work here, and thank you for being so inspiring. Hebron Gusti. So, talk to me, Max. Talk to me about Hebron.
I love Hebron's work. I just can't get enough of it. And it's that like impressionist painterly style that he mixes with 3D that I love so much.
Absolutely.
Compositionally, this is absolutely fantastic. It has like super nice balance. It has a little story. It feels magical. The time of day of it is just very magical. Bringing in those pinks and warm colors with the cool shadows. I love his style and his approach to these things. And Memram asks, is it 3D? It is. Like, some of it. Yeah, Hebron usually works like we've gotten to watch him work on the KD at the Fitness Bash. We get to watch his whole process a couple times, and it seems like he uses 3D to quickly get his camera angle and composition. So he'll actually start with pencil sketches, find a couple compositions, block things out in 3D to get his perspective and like some base lighting, and then get into painting as quickly as possible. Usually he doesn't even do shaders or textures or anything like that. He just like gets some raw lighting and then just starts painting. But yeah, amazing job, Hebron, as always.
Yeah, super cool stuff, and fun to see him take some of the foreground stuff that that we watched him work on in his coaching sessions with Patrick O'Keefe, and put them to play here. Guide us from left to right towards this huge building. Awesome work, Hebron. If you're in the chat, I know it's super early in the morning in Indonesia, so probably not.
That's all the honorable mentions, and this is getting into the runner-ups.
Sweet.
Oh man, I love this one.
Talk to me about
beautiful. It just looks like a still from a film. It's gorgeous, and the nighttime vibe with the blue and orange, or the orange and cyan, the classic, film grade there, but also the vintage aspect with the super old cars and the hazy ground and the little spots of reflective pavement. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, for me, this is Arnaud Imo, by the way. For me, the thing that just like gets me is the highlight on the back of the person walking past the store on the bottom left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so cool. And the store itself, the little details in the store itself are super cool too.
Yeah, those, sometimes there's just like a moment somewhere in a painting where I'm like, oh, I love this. And this little moment just says it all. Mm-hmm. And just this beautiful composition of, the crouched over man, and right over his shoulder is the nice posture, walking past the store with the nice highlights hitting him. Just, there's so much of this hidden inside this painting. Mm-hmm.
I think to that note, that's really what hit me too, is the interiors and the life of this. The filmmaker in me wants to see the camera move through this world. And yeah. I can just feel the carriage, and I can hear the city, and feel like the wetness on the ground, and I can see people working in these shops or reading in the libraries, and it tells so much, and it's so specific, all the way down to the faded writing on the buildings above, you know. And I think there's just so much of an alive world here that makes me feel like this person knows exactly who's living here.
Yeah, truly, like this really is, talk about creating a story within a painting. It's masterful in how it does that.
Yeah, truly amazing work. And this is our first runner-up, so well done. Forrest Lamb says, I'm curious of the reference he was looking at when working on this. That's a good thing. That's a good question. Feel free.
I'm again curious how much is 3D and whether the figures are simply composited or whether he's posing actual 3D models. I mean, it looks like there's more Photoshop going on here than pure 3D, but yeah, it's the combination of those two is fascinating to me recently because, again, I'm just 3D. You know, I don't do any much photoshopping. I've done a lot of compositing, but all in After Effects for motion, you know, and for visual effects, but not. I've never done a matte painting basically. So yeah, this is all super inspiring to me.
Jake,
maybe this is your next step.
You know,
maybe. I'm not sure that like. Yeah, I'm not sure that like I always the temptation, like anytime I build something in 3D, I always want to be able to fly a camera through it next. It's like I can't help myself. So if something is locked into a still, I feel maybe less satisfied. So I think I'm just more geared towards that motion world, especially because I have more of a background as vaguely being a DP and all of that. So I don't know if I could be satisfied with stills.
Have you used Nuke before?
I have briefly, but then After Effects could handle like 90% of what I wanted, and so I just stuck with After Effects. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I remember that was a giant switch for me when I could start to put these paintings on cards and fly cameras through them.
Yeah. The projection tools in Nuke are definitely unparalleled, and that would be the main reason to switch. Yeah.
It's so great to hear you, David, say how inspired you are looking at these and how many new ideas you're getting by looking at all this work. And I know that's happening for a lot of people. And Mabel in the chat says, all these beautiful art is making me feel like a baby. And I think it's really
yeah,
important.
we all feel that way.
Right. I think it's really important that's great. And that's a fantastic feeling to think like, man, there's so many new places and more areas for you to grow. And I think it's pretty easy, you know, there's the famous story of Steven Spielberg seeing Lawrence of Arabia leaving the movie theater and saying, I'm never going to be a filmmaker. You know, and then a week later turns around and says, you know what, there's nothing else I can do but be a filmmaker. And I think there's this feeling that can happen to us where we think, oh man, I'm never going to get there. But if we can get past that, those immediate thoughts of, you know, this is so much further along than the things that I'm doing, and notice that we can drive our own ship towards these things and use this as great inspiration. I think it's a wonderful thing to do, to get inspired by each other and to push one another.
Definitely.
I think that's what the Kit Bash 3D community really is all about, right? Like pushing each other to strive to become better artists and find our weak points and overcome them together. And set our sights higher and higher each time.
Yeah, a couple awesome lines in the chat here. JD says, I would love it if we could see the process of all these. I think that's an awesome point, JD, and I would love that too. Maybe we can get some things to put into the Discord. And then Carlo Diego says, I second the idea of links to all the artists. Droki has thrown in Arnaud's link to his Instagram right here. And then he also says his ArtStation shows some of the render elements. One of the things that has come out of the KB3D contest each time we've done this, and this is the end of our third one, is the artists get in touch with one another. And I see this every time I go look on an artist page who was in the Kitmas Bash or in one of the contests from last year, is many of the artists are now communicating with each other. I know a lot of them are working together, they're throwing each other work, and they build a community that supports itself. and helps one another. And I think there's nothing more important than being part of something larger than yourself. So get involved with this if you can, and see see if you can find other places or use your creativity to connect with other people. So comment on their Instagrams or hit them up on ArtStation. Say, hey man, we saw your work here and I'm super inspired. Go get them. And the more you can do that, the better your career and sense of community will flourish as we all try to grow.
For sure.
Sweet. Here we go. This one, Mitchell Stewart. Mitchell is just an incredible artist out of Vancouver. Listens to Hans Zimmer while he works. I know this because he also competed in the Kitmas Bash and actually won the Art Deco contest last year. But he has just taken creativity to a new height with this one.
Yeah, this is like my favorite for creativity.
Yeah, this one got reposted on the internet a ton, just for making just a wholly unique thing, in a whole style that has not been done, that I've seen.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm just in awe of this piece.
Yeah,
it's just so cool.
Droki says, I wanna live on this boat. So amazing.
Droki, I think I see your office on the back left.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just that tiny little crow's nest.
Yeah.
Right there with the great view. That's specifically only Droki's lair.
Yeah, has your name written all over it.
Pilchu says Hans Zimmer while drawing. Yes, I agree. And looking at his artwork, and if you go on and take a look at Mitchell's career, you can feel the grand epicness of his work, and I think this just speaks to it. He's so fantastic at taking a world and making it fantastic. So magical are his paintings, and they give you this feeling of grandeur and beyond reality, which I think is just a beautiful trait of a world builder.
Couldn't agree more.
Droki says, I thought of throwing away the old Wacom when I first saw this, and dude, one day, mark my words, I will be working from a turret. May never leave it. Awesome work, Mitchell. Thank you again for contributing your creativity to this contest. And if someone can pull it up, please throw his... it's in ArtStation's on there. Bingo. Thank you, Droke. Bangarang the blimp. Talk to me, Max.
Simranjeet Singh. Hey, before we jump into this, thanks. Do you have headphones on right now?
Yeah, I was going to say the echo is pretty terrible.
Really?
It's speech jamming us.
I am so sorry. Let me. I'll be back.
It's okay.
You guys go ahead. I'll be back.
It's okay. Just don't let it ever happen again. Ever.
Can't hear you. How are you going?
Have you ever? Do you know what I'm talking about with this? There's like a speech jammer app that basically plays back your voice a second after you've spoken. So it makes you. It just, for whatever reason, as humans, when we hear like that echo, it jams up our ability to talk. So it just makes you totally flub all of your words. It's like the funniest thing to do at a party.
Oh my god, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, speech jammer.
Okay.
That's what was just happening to me. I was like, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? While we're jumping on here, I just found Simranjeet's Instagram. Boom. There we go.
Sweet.
Dude, this piece, holy crap, man. This is just, talk about magical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just a whole world of its own. Here, I'm going to do a quick, speaking of technical wizardry, I'm going to do a quick mic check. So my headphones are going in right now. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my goodness. The experience of this. You guys in headphones is way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
I can't believe it's taken me this long. Okay, so this piece, I missed what you guys said, but I'll jump in on just the atmosphere. Immediately gives me so much of, I can feel it. I can feel what the air feels like here, and I can hear this blimp coming in. And I think the ability for an image to ignite some of my other senses is a real mark of something special.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think that the color palette as well, the painterly style, you know, it's so refined yet very, you know, there's areas that are where it seems like he's painted over to take out the detail so that it doesn't take your eye away. Like,
Right.
You know, this roof on the left, like you can see, like if that was super well, like detailed and rendered in photoreal, you wouldn't be paying attention to this, you know, monolithic structure in the background and this blimp and just things like that of being so aware of what's happening in the image, to be able to push and hold, you know, the focus of an image so well.
Definitely. Yeah, that interestingly, I feel like the left is almost more detailed. I feel like he left more detail there than I noticed what you're talking about even more in the background. It feels like he's removed a lot more detail there. So your eye just goes right to that blimp.
I think, thank you for the chat. I think we are experiencing some technical difficulties.
Right.
Yeah, they're saying that you guys sound like you're really far away from your mic, which is weird because you sound like you're right inside my brain. So, but apparently my volume is good, but I'm not quite sure. So maybe if you guys could
check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, well, I can get a little more intimate with this microphone.
Yeah.
Chat, was it better before I had my headphones in, or is this better for us now? Let us know. Well, and I think the oh hey Zach, I think this piece, it's so creative and it's so out of this world, and it does so. You know, it doesn't even bother me about the scale being kind of all over the place, because it gives me this feeling that something beyond what I'm used to is happening, and then I'm invited in to play by the rules of this game, which I think is such a powerful thing to be able to do with an image. If you can take me on the ride and suspend my disbelief to get inside here and say, I want to know more, you've really created something special in my head.
Before we show the winner, thanks. Can you just check your OBS that the desktop volume is cranked all the way up?
Yes. Before we show the winner, the OBS that the desktop volume.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm super good at stuff like this, so I think so. Oh, okay.
We were doing so well, and I didn't hear any echo until, like...
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, as always, chat, thank you for sticking with us through the technical difficulties and helping us figure this out. This is the fun part of live streaming.
Strokey says, bring in the Chris.
You know what? You're right, Droke. I think if anyone can find Chris, this will explain what's going on here.
If you've seen him, please let us know. Been on the run for 4 months. How's that looking? Thanks.
Yeah. Gabriel gets it. I think that's as good as I'm gonna get it on the fly like this without Chris here to really take care of all this sort of stuff.
Do you think it might have to do with the fact that you plugged in those headphones and now maybe it's using the mic in your Apple headphones or whatever you're using?
Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna take the headphones out and let's see if we can make life a little bit better. They're out. Does that work better for anyone?
That'll do. Whatever. We got one more image to go.
As long as we're not like hearing echoes, it's totally fine.
And that better for y'all in the chat?
It's going to be a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hooray. Everyone's at the same volume.
Look at this. Would you look at this?
Awesome.
So
without further ado,
yeah, a little drum roll here. A little drum roll. Ba-boom, ba-boom, boom. Talk to me, Max.
Beautiful.
This is Lav Castel. Come on, you know how to say his last name better than I do.
His real name is Mateo Andranik, and he is out of Croatia, but he goes by Lav on the internet.
Boom, there we go. Wow.
Lav, we've known for a while. He has contributed to every KB3D contest. He also competed in the Kitmas Bash, made it to the Final Four. He was teamed up with Nick Hyatt as his coach, and they had an awesome adventure on their way, competing against Hebron in the Final Four. And this piece that he's made here, I'm so glad that he spent the time and detail to create this world. Tell me your original immediate thoughts about it, David.
It's telling a story. I love the guy in the cloak with the horse in the foreground. Like, all that stuff is amazing. I love the lighting here, just that kind of backlit look with subtle hits of light on the sides of the buildings. And again, it just feels so cinematic, and you can't go wrong with reflections and wet cobblestone pavement.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times here.
And the birds in the sky are a classic. Another necessity of matte painting.
Yeah, it feels magical. It feels like you're coming out of this like tunnel into this like opened up, beautiful fairy tale world. Yeah, and again, those little light hits, just hitting that awning the way it does, and how that awning then points you to the carriage that's driving down the street. It has such a beautiful flow to the actual composition, and really does, I don't know, feels like it actually does take you to another world.
Yeah, it almost makes me feel as though we're later on in this story, and we've been here before, but for some reason this rider is coming back into the world, and he's in such haste because he needs to redo something, and I made my own story out of looking at this image, and I think that's a really wonderful sign of an image where everyone who looks at it wants to feel the narrative and wants to know why what's happening in this environment is happening that way, and what are the elements of this environment that has led to that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, just incredible work, Lav. You continue to be such a great inspiration, and you're such a wonderful community member, and it's so fun to watch your work evolve, and the differences that you take, and the variety of work that you put out. I think is tremendous of a young growing artist. I'm sure there's just so many awesome things in your future, and great work here.
I love watching him really study, like clearly he's been studying the old masters, like the old painting masters, and really learning how they're using these different tools and how they're using them to either guide an eye around a painting or take you through a narrative. And, that's something that we saw in him at the very beginning during the Gothic contest that I think has just kept evolving and evolving, getting more and more refined. And this, I think, is a new bar that he's set for himself. I'm super excited to see that.
Some in the chat, Gabriel goes, "Of course, Lav, congrats, man." Quentin says, "Oh my God, this one is amazing. Droki's such a sweet image." Ryan says, "Beautiful work, everyone. Congrats to all the winners." Mabel says, "Wow, so pretty." Jean-Marc is in the house. What up, Jean? All the way from France. He says, "Wow, super cool." Well, that concludes our most recent contest.
Yeah, the only other thing that I want to throw in here is that in case you missed any of them, we do have a thread in CG Society that I just updated that has all the winners and runner-ups and honorable mentions. I'll post that in the chat.
Sweet. And I'm going to stop screen sharing. with you guys. What I can't say, you know, how honored I am to be part of this thing, and how cool what's happening here as a unit online has grown, and the way that these live streams connect us, and the way that I feel so close to so many of you, and it's so much fun for me to jump online in the in-betweens, whether it's on, you know, Instagram or Discord, and to get to communicate with you guys and feel like I am part of something bigger than myself. And I think that is one of the coolest things I could do with my time is share it with you all, and to get to be part of each of your journeys, and to get to see these artists that we've come to know, and new ones pop in every week, and people spread the word, and you guys go and you tell your friends about this, and the way that you're sharing your work and your journey and your effort and the things that you care about with one another, I think is so inspiring to me, and it really makes me want to get up every day and do this. So thank you all incredibly for joining us on this, and for being active parts of the chat and on the Discord, and showing up week to week with us, and putting your artwork out there. It's overwhelming, and the amount of people and companies and artists and studios that are seeing this, and that are paying attention to this and following along with this is really cool. And I think we're just at the beginning of something really spectacular together. Speaking of which,
dude, that was an inspirational speech right there. That was awesome.
Well, speaking of community, look who has just joined us here.
Oh, we're not live, are we?
Oh, sir, we are live.
Oh my God, we're live right now.
Click on your own picture so people can actually see you.
I think
they've been staring at my face during your whole inspirational speech, which has just been a bloody shame.
Well, I'm sure looking at your face would be more inspiring than looking at mine. So I think honestly we nailed it. But look, it's Chris. Chris showed up.
Oh my God! There's two of you now, Banks.
Yeah, my twin Chris.
We look very similar. Right?
We were just talking about you. We had some technical difficulties, and I'm sure.
I was out back
I'm
with
sure
the
you're
power
part of it.
generators. Yeah, the power generators shut off, and then I tried to hack the mainframe, but it shut down, and then I had to go back, and I had some tweezers and stuff. I electrocuted myself.
Yeah. Well, everyone, if you go, Drogi goes, the internet is going to break. If y'all don't know Chris is our third amigo here at Kit Bash, and does a ton of the community engagement
technical
stuff.
wizard. He's our IT guy.
Yep,
nice.
That's really what I go by.
Yeah. The joke of that is well, he's not the technical wizard, but he takes the brunt of all of our technical difficulties.
Yeah. I'm the comedic relief.
He's the chief scapegoat.
Well, so awesome, Max. I know you have got to go, and we've run a little overtime with you. But thank you for going through all this stuff with us, and sharing your wisdom on these awesome images. And then David's got a little surprise for us that we're gonna break down.
Totally, awesome. Max, is great to meet you. Not IRL, but great to meet you through the video chats for the first time. I love your work, and I love your Learn Squared matte painting course, and yeah.
Awesome, David. It's great to finally get to chat with you, and we'll definitely have to make the trip down to San Diego and meet IRL.
That would be great, or vice versa. I come up to LA every once in a while. It's not that far, so yeah. Awesome.
Well, hit us up anytime you're around. Love to grab a drink with you, and thank you for everything you're doing with the Kit Bash community. I'm really excited for what's about to happen.
Secrets.
I'm gonna let you guys take it away from here. Both of you have an awesome day, and thank you everyone in the chat and everyone who entered the KB3D contest. You guys are a constant inspiration and always humbling me. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Have a great day.
Take care, guys.